Are you wondering what's going on with the Almaden Valley real estate market as of July 2020? This unique area of South San Jose definitely responds a little differently to different market changes than other areas of San Jose. So let's jump right into the data. Stay tuned and take a look at the charts with me. Hi, I'm Theresa Wellman with homeownerexperience.com, your local San Jose, California realtor. Today we're going to jump into Almaden Valley specific charts so you get a feel for what's actually going on, because it's really heating up here, not only because it's July, but the real estate market's getting hot too. Okay, here we are with the overview snapshot of the Almaden Valley market as of July 2020. This is using data with sales closed through the end of June. So look at this. Talk about the market heating up. Wow. Average price is up 12.8% from the previous month. Yes, that is significant. And the number of sales was up 146%. Now, do you see what I mean? That the market is heating up? Wowzers, that's really a big deal. So we had 32 units closed in June, which is off only 6% from 2019 where we closed 34. So the market is definitely recovered after this shelter in place, for sure. Year to date, the first 6 months of sales is actually up a tiny bit in Almaden, up to 126 sales, where in 2019, the first 6 months, we had 122. You know, and as far as the county goes in San Jose, we're actually slightly down or very close to similar. So Almaden is unique in that there's actually more purchases and sales going on in this area. Now, the year-to-date prices, they had really slowed down, and we had a significant jump in from May to June, as I talked about. But year-to-date, we're up 13.5%. So that is really pretty awesome. That's a huge increase in the amount of sales numbers. And if you recall 2019, the spring was pretty good, and then it really softened in the latter half of the year. So that's why we're seeing that really big delta right now. And why is that price up? Well, I'm going to tell you with supply and demand. So let's look at the inventory numbers. June inventory was actually down 3.4% from May. What? Normally June inventory would continue to peak, and even this year we would expect that the inventory would have continued to peak because a lot of inventory was held off the market in March, April, and May due to the shelter-in-place rules and guidelines. So I would have expected June to be even up more significantly than typical when it actually was down. And we're down 51% year over year from inventory. So that is why the market is really heating up, and those sales, it doesn't explain why we have more sales, but it definitely explains the seller's market that we're seeing. So we have days of inventory of 25. That is a really low amount of days it would take to sell all the inventory on the market. And you know what? Not only was June really good from a closed sale perspective, as we expected with those May high pending sales, but June pending sales were up even more. So we're up 100% year over year and 23% from what we experienced in May. So I expect those July closings to be really significant and probably going to see a price increase there. The sales in June had a sales price to list price ratio of 101.1%. And as I mentioned, inventory was down, but the pending sales are up. So that market has really picked up. And now you see why July is not only hot in the weather, but also in the market. So 60% of the homes in Almaden are in contract. Wow. It was 54% in May. So that is significantly up. Now let's look at the chart with a little perspective of the last several years. Here is the last 5.5 years. And if you're familiar with these charts, you look at the yellow bar is inventory. So I want to point that out right away because that is one significant difference that we're seeing this year versus previous years. So 2015 was kind of a lowish inventory. 2016 was much normal. 2017 was very low, and 2018 was kind of a low inventory. 2019, we went back to a more normal cycle. And here we are in 2020. Gosh, you can't even see it. It's buried in all of these numbers. So we are significantly down what we would expect to see. And I don't know, I hope that wasn't our May peak. I was expecting the peak of inventory to be a little late this year due to the sheltering in place with coronavirus. Maybe even something like we saw in 2018, which this doesn't show in Almaden, but we had an overall Santa Clara County and San Jose peak late in 2018. I expected that to be the case here in 2020. So maybe this is just a little blip down and we'll see an increase in inventory again. But let's compare these yellow bars. This is looking at April, May, and June from 2019 compared to April, May, and June of 2020. And as you can see, the sales were much more consistent, these green bars here in 2019, where we had a big drop in May and then a huge recovery in June. The pending sales are really significant, this dotted blue line. As you can see, it's much higher than what we've experienced many times. There's a couple years back where we did get that high as a sharp peak. And prices, because of this supply and demand, have really started to increase, and I would continue to expect them to do that just because of these pending sales and that low inventory. Concluding and wrapping this all up, as you can see, the market has really picked up, and I do think the healthy interest rates that we're seeing in the low 3%, even for a jumbo loan, are really fueling buyers to get into the market. Almaden has always been a place that buyers like to move into, especially when they're looking to raise their family. And I've really noticed in the last month a lot of young couples or new families with preschool age children jumping into the area to establish themselves as the kids begin to start school in a few years. So that is really great news. We're bringing in a lot of new buyers and new families into Almaden, and that is what is driving this price increase, because there's just good demand in this area. If you have any questions, please do comment below. I'd love to answer your questions, and you can go to my market stats on my website and look specifically at Almaden Valley or particular neighborhoods to study that raw data further. And of course, always reach out to me or comment below with any detailed questions. Thanks again for listening. I'm Theresa Wellman with homeownerexperience.com, your local San Jose, California realtor.